as part of the Government of India initiatives, a list of, or rather 3 lists of equipment have been promulgated for taking on as part of the indigenization initiative. There are various durations have been prescribed in those limits. Naval headquarters at the Directorate of Indigenization and other organizations are looking at these equipment and systems and linking them directly to the MSMEs and even the bigger players, the bigger industries. As far as the Southern Naval Command is concerned, we are looking at it in 2 parts. One is sustenance for our present ongoing ships, wherever there is a requirement where we need to augment our equipment and systems with foreign equipment. We are trying to now look for an indigenous alternative. And towards that, as the Commander-in-Chief has already mentioned, the local industries, Maker Village, Codicia, the Technopark, Trivandrum, etc. are constantly being live. We have got certain success stories. I'll be happy to share after the conference. Second aspect is for our new shipbuilding. So in the new shipbuilding also, as CNC has pointed out, there is a very healthy 76% of indigenization content as in Ikran also. And for the other projects also, we are constantly looking at indigenous sources for our new equipment as well as systems which are coming. Going forward, we are also identifying certain areas wherein even for new equipment, the remaining 25% or 30% of indigenous content can also be now supported through the in-house indigenous content. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You have told that
Ma'am, can you tell your name and the media also?
myself, Maria, I'm from Malayalam. You have told that Atmanirbhar Bharat will be completed by 2047. And what do you feel? Are we too much? Like, can we reach there by 2047, or do we have a long distance to travel to Atmanirbhar Bharat? Or my next question is, we are always correlating with MSMEs. Do you believe why we correlate with MSMEs, we need compromise with the quality, because it is very important to use quality things for our defense material. So do you think it will compromise with the quality when we correlate with MSMEs?
Okay, the first part of your question is, do you think we'll be able to reach there, 2047? You know, if we were to see the future, firstly, not that I'm an eternal optimist, but definitely I'm a realist. I will give you an example, you know. When Buddha smiled 1998, Pokhran Blast, our country came under sanctions. But it was the innovative spirit of our people, our countrymen, who saw that these sanctions actually did not affect us in certain key areas. And our integrated guided missile development project, you are talking of the Agni series which you see now, our own space sector actually propelled itself. In fact, I would say it was an opportunity under these adverse conditions that our people thrived and their innovative spirit came into the fore. We are the same country which sends the Chandrayaan to the moon. We are the same people. We are also having a manned mission which is being planned very soon on Moon. Not to forget the Samudrayan mission that is being looked at. We as a nation have immense capabilities. And I have immense faith in the youth of this country with its very positive demographic dividend, a favorable demographic dividend, where the average age of the nation, I suppose, is around 25, 26. I'm not very sure about that. We are the people who can come up with very innovative solutions, and I would say that we need to be a little forced down and clamp down upon certain aspects, such as the fact that we are now looking at not buying any foreign equipment, unless of course we already have it in service and we get special concessions from the Ministry of Defence. But these will actually spur our growth, our ultimate aim towards the dream of realization of Atmanirbhar Bharat by 2047. So I see no reason as to why we'll not be able to do that. In the second, I must also add in the same breath, recently when I visited, there are a lot of companies here in India who make parts, spare parts, complex equipment also, including machinery, and export it to countries in the West, United States, and so on and so forth. When I was in Coimbatore recently, I learned of a firm which is an expert in forging processes and actually making heavy-duty salvage pumps and exporting it to United States and also to the West, a firm in Coimbatore. But we have not been able to tap the potential of that firm ourselves. When we require these heavy-duty, these are salvage pumps, means dewatering pumps. When you, like in a dry dock, when you want to deballast and remove water, there are heavy-duty pumps called salvage pumps. Similarly on ships, if there is a leak, there is a flooding which takes place, you need to pump out that water. They are called salvage pumps. They are being made, and other countries are buying from us. There are a lot of aircraft frames, specialized equipment, and so on and so forth, which is being manufactured here in India. And so we need to tap the potential of these firms and explore these options. So as I said, I have no doubt that we will do it.
Why I asked the question is, today we see that youth are going abroad, they are migrating to other foreign countries, and of course India is a young country, but all the young people, my classmates who study with, almost everyone have gone to UK, Canada, or all of them have gone to Western countries. That's why I asked, all of the youth are going out of the nation.
You're right. So you must see it in the present context. Water actually fills up where there is a hole, a pothole. Ants come where there is sugar. Now, in the present context, yes, the quality of life, the ease of living, the resources available, the paycheck which these people get when they go abroad is attractive. Don't you think the conditions will be reversed, where I suppose the futuristic growth of the economy, based upon so many initiatives taken by the governments, implementation, there have been actually some game changers, we'll only see an upward growth of the economy, and I'm very positive about it. And hence, these things would be reversed perhaps. Those people will come back again wherever there is more sugar. There was a movie called Swadesh, where Shah Rukh Khan played that, he enacted the role of Mohan Bhargav. Of course, he was patriotic. He left his job in NASA and came back to India for different reasons, for his love and for the love of his family. But I'm very sure that as our economy will grow and as we become richer or whatever be, and the cost of living and also the standards of living of our people sees an upliftment, I'm sure there will be people who will get back.
Thank you, sir.
I must also tell you about one of my cousins who worked in the US for some time. Of course, he's highly patriotic, and he left that job and he came back to India, and he's of course working here.
Thank you, sir.
Now the MSME is quality control. So we have a stringent quality control process. The quality control, the best part about this thing, MSMEs, we also handhold in the process of development, manufacturing or whatever be it. We handhold, we tell them, we guide them, and they meet our standards. And there have been many success stories. Like I said, for Vikrant, 292 crores worth of equipment has been procured from MSMEs. Now that's a very good figure. You can, please feel free.
Sir,
No, go ahead, go ahead.
So, the Vizhinjam port has been in the story for some time in the news. As far as Navy is concerned, is the development of the port of any strategic importance to the defense force, especially the Southern Naval Command?
See, one of the most important aspects insofar as propelling our economy is the aspects to diversify the economy. Diversification would mean, you're aware that services is a very important sector of our economy, besides manufacturing, a little bit of the biggest component of export is the finished petrochemical goods that we get a lot of money from. We export besides cotton, etc., we export diamonds and so on and so forth, cut diamonds. We need to diversify our economy. One of the methods of diversification is what we call as blue economy. Blue economy is nothing but exploiting the resources in a sustainable fashion, the oceanographic resources, ocean resources. What do we mean by ocean resources? Okay. See, as resources in the land become scarce, in land whatever we grow, a lot of afforestation taking place, urbanization taking place, population increasing, the yield per hectare is decreasing, fertilizers are affecting, organic, so many things, exploitation of coal, steel, all the resources on land are slowly depleting. So once resources deplete, it is a natural corollary that we look towards the oceans. Oceans are a repository of resources. We have almost about over 2 million square kilometers of EEZ. It's called the exclusive economic zone. That is 200 nautical miles, which is close to about 360 kilometers from the coastline. If you draw a line, that area belongs to us for exploitation of resources, living and non-living, in the surface of the sea, in the volume of the sea, and on the seabed and beneath, belongs to us for exploitation. They are very rich in resources, be it oil, be it manganese, be it cobalt, be it gas hydrates, be it fish, and so on and so forth. So if we exploit these resources in a sustainable fashion, that means you don't over-exploit. That is what is blue economy all about. So to exploit that, what is it that we need? We require many things. One of the important elements is, and that diversification of blue economy pertains to maritime infrastructure, wherein, as I understand, at Vizhinjam, what are we looking at is making a port wherein it would look at giving competition to the container ports of Dubai, Colombo, and so on and so forth, and earn us a lot of revenue. That was, I think that is the aim, as I understand. I think the matter is sub judice now. I think there are fishermen who have a right also to claim for their livelihood, loss of livelihood and all that, compensation. I suppose the matter is sub judice, it is in the High Court, and the government of course will take a very considered decision. But from the naval perspective, or I would say from the country's perspective, yes, it is something which would generate the country revenue, as I said, as a component of blue economy, and under the overall ambit of making the country more richer. But I'm sure we will reach some kind of a Y medium.
Thank you, sir. Now we'll take 2 more questions.
No, I mean, I've got time. Unless you're hungry or something.
Nothing, sir.
It is nice. It's actually challenging to the human mind when I take on your questions, and it's very interesting to see your perspective.
So I'm Sijo from Deepika.
Sorry, what's your good name? Sorry.
Sijo.
Sijo.
Deepika Devi. So I already mentioned the Clear project. What is the response of the Kerala people, especially Kerala youth, for this project?
Which one?
How many Kerala people have? What is the response of Kerala people for the Agniveer?
Agniveer. I'm not sure. I will be able to give the statistics definitely through him after some time, because we have still not looked at the demographic profile. But I would say that we do it on a all India, all class competitive basis. So, isn't it?
Data after first.
We will get the data maybe after 2-3 days. But I'm very sure, actually the contribution of Kerala is quite a bit in the Navy. We have a lot of people, officers and sailors. You see here only, I think there are so many people. I'm very sure. Who are from Kerala, just raise your hands. Job, you are there. No, for officers. That's it. Okay, 2 of them. 3 of them. 3 amongst about 25. You can see now. The strength is quite a bit. But I'll get you the statistics. We have not worked on the statistics.
Ali?
I'm Hari from ASAP. You have already mentioned.
Now I thought for a moment you were the CNS.
You have already mentioned about ins aircraft, but I would like to know the current status of the aircraft trials on board of the aircraft.
Yeah. So I'll take a little bit of rest with a glass of water. Who wants to take on this question?
Yeah, presently, Vikrant has just held out yesterday, so that's the latest update that already the trials are in progress and all the equipment and all are being tested. In the next 4 to 5 months, we plan to integrate all the helicopters and the fighters on Vikrant. And this activity will take on 4 to 5 months, and by that time, as CNC was brought out, the aircraft would be integrated on the ship, and the ship would be fully integrated with the other ships for aircraft operations.
So, aircraft operations are not new to us. When we inducted INS Vikrant, then a 14,000-ton carrier in 1961. Today is 23, so we have got over 60 years of experience in operating aircraft carrier. We had Vikrant, then we had Virat, both of them are decommissioned. Then we had Vikramaditya. Now we have Vikrant reincarnate. So we are going about it in a very careful, deliberate and correct manner. So as I said, we are, as the CSO op said, we are looking at carrying out the trials of all the landing facilities on board. And we have teams, dedicated teams, who are looking after that. Various things, various conditions. We already have carried out helicopter operations. It's not so complex. But for fighter aircraft to land on a moving platform and to land within 120 meters of space, to be hooked on, you know how it lands, the aircraft will actually get hooked onto a wire and then it is stopped. I think from a speed of, does anybody know, a speed of almost about more than 200 kilometers per hour, it comes to stop in 4 seconds or 5 seconds. That is the kind of complexity involved. So we are going about it in deliberate fashion. So first we'll do all these trials of this equipment. Then we will do it modified trials with all the aircraft. And we look at various wind conditions also. We should be able to operate it under various wind conditions, various loads of the aircraft. So all these trials will progress till August.
Sir, I'm John Lu. Over the years, there was a decrease in the fleet of submarines because there was a happening around 20 years back. There were a lot of scams and all. So has it been, adequately made up over the past decade or so?
Yes, our shipbuilding program has suffered a little bit of setback for various reasons, and that has actually led to extending the life of the present inventory of submarines that we hold. Yes, we are short of submarines, and you are aware of the fact that now there is something known as a Project 75 India, that is a follow-on for the Project 75 Scorpion class submarines. So again here, this is an example of Atmanirbharta, where we are talking of a strategic partnership model, wherein there will be a tie-up with our own firms. Either there are two firms, MDL and L&T, which are having a strategic partnership with a foreign OEM for certain aspects of design, but it will be built here in India. So I think that process is still not complete. It is yet to be ratified by the Ministry of Defence. But of course, yes, we are looking at other kinds of submarines as well, besides the conventional submarines. So we will be catching up.
So, I'm coming up with my second question.
Yes.
I'm Joseph Martin here.
Yeah, Joseph.
From Doordarshan. So now we are very fast moving with the technology. Because 5 years back we had something, but now every month also new technology is being added. And also when you see in the missile technological progress also, it has been added, the range, the fastness and the accuracy also. And you see in the Ukraine war that you see a cheaper drones being used by Russia. So in this scenario, does this diminish the actual requirement of new aircraft carriers?
So this has always been a debate of late, that with increasing lethality, something known as distributed lethality, but with increasing lethality of weapons, are such platforms safe? So I must tell you that all naval tacticians, planners, they look at all these things which are happening the world over very closely, and a lot of lessons which are being learned. For example, not only the ongoing Ukrainian crisis, but how effective, say for example, the TB2 Bakhtiyar drone, the Turkish drones were used in the Nagorno-Karabakh clashes before the Ukraine war, and of course the ongoing things which are happening in Ukraine. So it is not only the weaponry, of course other aspects are looked at and lessons being continually drawn. But I must also say that it is not that they are not aware before all this thing is happening, and the utility of these kind of weapons, lethality, the gradual transition of warfare into unmanned systems, the use of technology in many aspects, in command control systems, surveillance systems, and so on. So all these aspects have been factored. They are debated, they are evaluated, and it is suffice to say that whilst the destructive potential of these new age weapons are well known, so are the anti-defense systems, or the anti-missile systems, or the defense systems on platforms like, say, on Vikrant and so on and so forth, because that part is generally not known, not clearly known. It is not without reason that if we were to concede that okay, insofar as technology and technological superiority is concerned, the US Navy of course is in the forefront. It's not without reason that they continue to build aircraft carriers. They have got the latest Gerald Rutherford in their inventory. The Queen Elizabeth is in the inventory of United Kingdom. China has commissioned her third aircraft carrier, and there are many more in the pipeline. So what I would like to say is that whilst weapons are getting more potent, so also are the anti-weapon systems on board ships and aircraft and submarines alike. And the centrality of the role played by these platforms is actually unique in naval warfare. And hence all these have been evaluated and capabilities continue to be acquired.
Excuse me, one officer.
Anything else? Please.
Sir, as we discussed about the flight trials of INS Vikram, my question is, do we have enough aircraft that can be operated from aircraft carriers? Because as per the reports we are faced with severe shortage of carrier-based, especially I think we have only around 45 Russian-made MiG-29K as of now. So without enough aircraft, what is the use of an aircraft carrier? That's the main question we are facing these days. How does the Navy plan to tackle this particular issue?
So, I would say that we do have enough aircraft, combat aircraft, as also rotary wing aircraft for operation of the carriers, both the carriers. Just for information, you must be aware that we are recently looking at commissioning the MH-60R aircraft which we got. We're getting about 24 aircraft from the US Navy. They're anti-submarine warfare platforms, and I think all of them will be here by mid-2025 or something like that. So in terms of fighter aircraft, of course, we have enough, and they would be made definitely available for cooperation of the two carriers that we have. But yes, considering the life of these aircraft and considering the replacement options which will be indigenous, at present, of course, the Indian Navy is looking at going in for some other aircraft at this point in time, which is being staff evaluated at naval headquarters.
Thank you.
Anything else? Have I answered all questions? Is there anybody else? One last question. Yes.
Sir, I'm Manoj.
Yeah, Manoj, please go ahead.
Naval version of
Yes. Not taken.
The LC.
No, see, the Tejas did not meet the LC did not meet the naval requirements. You are aware of that. So at this point in time, what is being looked at is the indigenous option of a twin engine deck-based fighter, which is of course some time away, and it is because of this reason that and considering the life of the existing aircraft that we have, we are looking at perhaps sourcing some aircraft which are being evaluated at this point in time. But I would say that our own indigenous option of having a twin engine deck-based fighter is underway. Is being developed, and not only that, there is a constant interaction between the ultimate user, that is the end user, that is the Navy, and the R&D organization. So we have people who are placed there, who are interacting, who are all the time refining on the requirements to ensure that it will become a reality soon.
you, sir. This brings